Respected Padma Bhushan Dr. R.S. Paroda, President of the Indian Society of Plant Genetic Resources, Padma Shri Dr. B.S. Dillon, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Punjab Agriculture University, Ludhiana, Dr. Agrawal, Vice President of the Society, also Registrar General, Plant Variety Protection Authority, Dr. Kuldeep Singh, Director ISPGR, also Vice President of the Society, Dr. Anuradha Agrawal, General Secretary, many distinguished personalities of the dais. I would not venture into naming. Also, very importantly, present in the audience, the family of Sri Harbhajan Singh, most respected and remembered personality. Also, Mrs. Dillon and many others, colleagues from the ICR institutes in the Pusa campus, colleagues from the NBPGR and its different departments, divisions, those who are associated with the society, I extend on my own personal behalf and behalf of the Council words of appreciation to the society currently presided by none other than Dr. Paroda for, first of all, thinking that this memorial lecture, that is Dr. A.B. Joshi Memorial Lecture, can be eminently delivered by the Padma Shri Dr. B.S. Dillon, a known figure in the arena of plant genetics and breeding for several decades. Sincere thanks to the society for doing that, and also at the same time establishing a system to award and recognize contributions of scientists, researchers in different spheres, including young scientists, and remembering the stalwarts again, whether it is Dr. Harbhajan Singh or Dr. Barwale, Dr. Arora, Dr. Mehta, and also Dr. Paroda himself. By way of these awards, the personalities in whose name awards are instituted, they are immortalized. We are happy that Mrs. Arora is present here. Family of Harbhajan Singh Sahab are present here. And also, Dr. Barwale's family is also represented. And Dr. Paroda himself being here. So that shows how attached they are, how keenly they are following, and also, very importantly, the society not only immortalizing these personalities, but also remembering their families that they should be here. So I sincerely appreciate the society and also particularly Dr. Puroda and other office bearers for doing that. I always mention that the scientists do contribute immensely, make many sacrifices, and certainly these sacrifices are not just made at the individual level, but also the family does sacrifice their comforts, and in the process support building institutions as they could do, and also building programs, doing science, developing materials, and furthering the cause of agriculture. In that sense, I, as the head of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, express my sincere gratitude to the family of Dr. Harbhajan Singh, all of you being here, our sincere gratitude to you for the sacrifice, for the support that you provided, for the sacrifice that you made, and in the process enabling Harbhajan Singh Saab to do whatever he could do, and in a way contributing to strengthening and reaching ICAR, and also in the process the farming community. Our sincere gratitude to all of you. And also at the same time, Mrs. Arora is also present here. Our gratitude to you for your own sacrifice, that whatever you made. In fact, others who are present here, Mrs. Dillon, Mrs. Kuldeep Singh, they are also doing the same thing at this point in time. And words of appreciation certainly is due, but I reserve it for future. This is one aspect of it which I wanted to say, that the society is doing wonderfully well and for which leadership deserves all appreciation. So I take this opportunity to congratulate Honorable President of the Indian Society of Plant Genetic Resources and all the office bearers for very successfully conducting all the activities, and very particularly the Agro-Biodiversity Congress, which is now globally recognized as a big success. A big applause to the whole team which made this possible. In fact, event of that kind, dimension, requires quite a bit of effort, and the society has done a wonderful job, not only just conducted, but as Dr. Puroda himself said, the New Delhi Declaration which was brought out, very clearly delineating what should be our pathway, future pathway in the arena of agro-biodiversity in particular. The global agenda is actually set by way of this particular declaration. And all these, in fact, would not have been possible without the critical analysis and input of Dr. Puroda himself. So our sincere gratitude to you, sir, for guiding, not only establishing this institution that would preserve the legacy of our cultural heritage, the biodiversity, particularly agro-biodiversity, not only just preservation for posterity as a legacy, but also characterizing it and utilizing it. And that is what NBPGR's mandate is. And in fact, the whole country, all the institutions together would certainly, doing this and are already doing this as Dr. Dillon made some, in fact, cited some examples. Dr. Dillon, Dr. Proda has already described Dr. Dillon adequately. There's no need to actually have additional adjectives. But the personality, Dr. Dillon, as he is, reminds me that the humility is the greatest virtue of a human being. A man having in-depth knowledge never throws airs around to say that I know it. In his humble way, he will be expressing, and that those expressions should be reflecting his deep knowledge and understanding that he has. And at the same time, giving ideas for future to be built. Not only today he focused on crop genetic resources, how we have conserved, where we are and where we were and where we are today, and how these resources have been utilized. He cited examples taking crops after crops, species after species, whether it is wheat, whether it is rice, whether it is tomato, whether it is chickpea, whether it is Karela, so on and so forth. In every one of them, he substantiated his argument that the crop-wild relatives are so crucial to meet the challenges thrown before us due to climate change. Though he has a different expression for the word change, but certainly there are disturbances, even if we accept them as disturbances. They are there, globally recognized, and crop-wild relatives, they have played very significant role in the past. The examples of wheat, yellow rust or stem rust or whatever, black rust. So we have beautiful examples in tomato, as he cited, that the traits that we don't see, don't visualize that those traits should be there. When the genes get transferred to the cultivated background, they start expressing because the repressing factors are lost in the process of transfer, and the environment, the genetic environment in the cultivated background enables their expression. As a result, you have bigger fruits and also deeper red colors, the lycopene content increasing. And similarly, many other examples with regard to climate resilience as he cited. And similarly, he cited examples taking the case of Triticum dicoccum, and how one can retrieve traits with regard to even qualitative nutritive values from the wild relatives. And similarly, a cited example of yield genes, QTLs, being transferred from the wild evolving for small seed size and more faster dissemination and also poor yield but greater adaptation. But when you harvest those genes, bring them back to the cultivated background, and then you do find, Raja Rufipogan is the beautiful example he cited, how yield genes could be transferred from wild rice. The crop relatives and the importance of these relatives, as he explained in his presentation, are very clear, and that substantiated that we must, in fact, double our efforts or triple our efforts to go for large-scale pre-breeding and harness the benefit of those genes which are still awaiting our efforts, systematic efforts for further understanding and exploitation. Examples that are of Punjab Agriculture University, which were cited by him, because being from Punjab Agriculture University, certainly there are many, whether it is rice or wheat or other crops. There are several examples from PAU itself, and there are many other, particularly using modern tools, the markers. He cited a few examples. Now there are several other examples. And you must know that currently we have, not less than 35 biofortified crops developed in the country. Not necessarily utilizing wild relatives, but certainly by utilizing the local germplasm. And a beautiful example with which I was associated was high-protein rice, utilizing Assam rice collection, which was done, several decades ago, and having high protein to the extent of 15-16% in its grain, and after polishing, also 14% remaining, and that's something which is remarkable. And in terms of germplasm and its traits, and that his lecture certainly elaborately compels us that we must look into further, discover as many traits as possible. Having germplasm is one thing. In fact, from this platform, I have told several times that we must go much faster in discovery of traits. Unless and until we do that, these vast germplasm resource, we would be only, talking about germplasm and their strength. The past glories are fine. Most of these are, for instance, in case of wheat, they were done outside. The rice work mostly done outside. And, there are only few examples in the country of trait discovery and subsequent utilization of those. Though we have several germplasm lines, registered here by way of trait discovery and description of those germplasm lines, but we don't really move further, to identify the genes, map them, and use them in breeding programs very effectively. And this I have told several times here, and I believe such things are already happening. Friends, the brilliant lecture delivered by Dr. Dillon deserves another round of applause. And also I would request a standing ovation to Dr. Dillon, Padma Shri, and who is the eminent speaker today to deliver the A.B. Joshi Memorial Lecture. And so we are so grateful to you for guiding the whole generation of agricultural scientists. And we don't have many role models. Please take your seats. We don't have many role models, and I keep talking about role models in today's context. We keep citing the name of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, and we have few other role models. We have to actually, play important roles in highlighting them. And Dr. Prodha is another role model for the younger generations to know about him and also emulate him. Not as an institution builder alone, in fact, the program builders and setting examples at this age. There are many, many new ideas, and whether it is ICR, the international CG system, and otherwise the government system, globally, and contributing so tremendously, and building programs very importantly for future agriculture and food security. And so Dr. Dillon, another role model, we must be actually, not only praising them and paying a lip service, and in fact, doing our duty to bring them to the forefront as role models so that the students know about them adequately And in fact, and certainly once they know, they would follow them. Today is the lecture which was delivered, Dr. A.B. Joshi Memorial Lecture. In fact, mention was made, Dr. Dillon was talking about Dr. B.P. Pal and Dr. A.B. Joshi. And, after my joining as a student at IRI, I have seen both of them. And I have heard their jokes as well from, in the IRI auditorium. And, once I had the chance to interact with Dr. Joshi very closely as president of the Genetics Student Club. And we used to organize every year some programs outside. And we had gone to one of the places, Sona Lake or Badkhal or whatever. And, he joined with his family. And Dr. Govila was there with me. So we went and invited him. So he went along with us. And we played. In fact, he played with us. In addition to his jovial mood and jokes and all that. So you learn so much from people like him. And today, we remember him fondly. And not only as a teacher, but as it was said, immense contribution that he made. Whether as a DDG or as a director. And, so that is what, there's another role model is no more with us, is not there. But whatever he did. So that is what the lesson we must learn today. So without taking more time, so today is the day to remember personalities, as I said. So Dr. A.B. Joshi, Dr. Harbhajan Singh, Dr. Barwale, Dr. R.K. Arora, Dr. K.L. Mehra, and also, Dr. Puroda himself. So from this, we take one simple lesson that the kind of monumental contribution they made. And can we make a niche area for ourselves, the youngsters, and following their footsteps? Can we really build that kind of career and contribute that way? And that's the kind of lesson, if we can take back home and, analyze what we are doing, and can we really do something and contribute that way. Otherwise come here and listen and then clap and then go back home forgetting whatever happened. And if we can critically reflect on our own activities, probably we can change the course that we are following and certainly improve upon it and then do much more than what we are doing today. Thanks to the society for inviting me, for being here, to be here and listen to the lecture by Dr. Dillon, go back more enriched with regard to the crop-wild relative utilization in crop improvement and bringing climate resilience and enhancing nutritive value of crops and in the process contributing to sustainable agricultural systems. And also at the same time allowing me to participate in the award function, that is to again celebrate achievement of colleagues and friends and particularly youngsters who have done already so much. So I thank at the end the office bearers of the society for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to be here to learn and go back more engaged. At the end, I thank Dr. Puroda for inviting me to attend this program. And I believe the program would continue for the society under the leadership of Dr. Puroda. We had to learn from it, and we are trying to replicate some of these activities elsewhere, and certainly other societies will learn from this how to celebrate achievements and celebrate the erstwhile leaders and then recognize their contribution and in the process build the future pathways. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom, encouragement, and motivation, and rightly highlighting the importance of emulating role models in achieving excellence in science. Thank you once again. ISPGR is proud to present a memento to the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Mohapatra, as a token of love and respect, and I request Dr. Paroda to do the honors. So a big round of applause for an eminent molecular geneticist, a great researcher, and an outstanding teacher. Dr. Mohapatra has been very ably taken up the role of an adept administrator and a great scientific leader. Under his dynamic leadership, ICR is scaling newer heights and shall continue to do so in a big way. So one more round of applause. Thank you, sir, once again. Now I have the pleasure of requesting Dr. R.C. Agrawal, Vice President ISPGR, and Registrar General PPV and FRA, to propose a vote of thanks.